Hi, everybody. Welcome to Real Stories of Hurting Moms. Back for another week. I was thinking about it today, and I've been doing this for over 2.5 years every Thursday. And it's like one of the highlights of my week. Seriously, I absolutely love being here. I love going back and forth with you. I'm excited. My guest tonight is Lynn, and she was in a group actually that I led, and it ended up being a really small group. There was just a couple of us in there, but we've just gotten to be good friends. And now she's leading online groups and getting ready to start another one. So, Lynn, thank you so much for being here tonight with us.
Well, thank
Lynn,
you for having me.
yeah, she's in Saskatchewan, Canada. So, I think there might be a little bit of a delay in our talking, but anyway, she's a long ways away and in a whole other country. But that's one of the amazing things, isn't it, about this whole thing, is that we get a chance to meet moms from all over the place, all over the US, all over Canada. We've got moms in Australia. Tanya, if you're watching tonight, we're happy to have you join us. She's in Australia. It's just really a cool thing. So before I turn the floor over to Lynn, a couple things. First of all, if it's your first time watching, would you let us know? Let us know if it's your very first time to watch Real Stories of Hurting Moms. And then also, where are you watching from? Let us know where you're watching from. I get really happy and excited when I see people watching from all over the place. Mary says, hi, Lynn. Mary with an I says, hi, Lynn. So I see some of Lynn's group members from some of her groups popping on here, and she can't see the comments. So if you make a comment to her, I'll try to tell her what you're saying, but she's not able to see the comments at this time. Anyway, where was I? So just about let us know where you're watching from. And yeah, and we're gonna talk. Before I start, I want to show you guys something. So Lisa, another Lisa, who's one of our leaders, sent me this. And in the, how do I show it on there? On the mail, it's a prayer bracelet. And I love it, Lisa. Thank you so much. And she said what it is when you touch it or you think about it or you see it, it reminds us to pray. And so I'm so grateful, and I have it on, and it's been working. It's been working throughout the day today. So thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate it so much. Lynn, tell us a little bit about your story. First of all, what brought you to Hurting Moms, and yeah, just share with us anything that's on your heart.
Okay. How I actually became part of Hurting Mums is I have a relative who knew that I was going through a really rough time with my daughter, and she suggested that I check this group out called Hurting Mums, and she really knew nothing about it, just that it had popped up on her Facebook feed, and she thought maybe it was something that I could benefit from. So I checked in and I watched a few of your Thursday night videos, um, which really inspired me. And it took me quite some time. I ordered the book, but it took me still probably about 3-4 months before I actually took that jump and signed up to take an online group. And I'm so thankful that Cathy led my group. It was just a connection that I needed, something to bring me closer to God at the time when I really needed Him. Um, that first meeting, that first day, I don't think I said a word other than my tears that flew like they just flowed, thoroughly flowed. But um, as I tell the ladies that I have in my groups too now, that tears are part of healing, and it really did help me to heal. It helped a lot to heal. To get that story out, to tell your story, and know that you're not alone. That there's so many moms that are having the same situation that you have, or maybe even worse situations, and it just brings you close to those moms and closer to God. Throughout the sessions, it just every day or every week, I could feel myself getting a little bit stronger, and that's thanks to Cathy. And I did miss some of those sessions because of my work. We were headed down south to go custom harvesting. We start in Kansas, And so often I'd have to try and log on while I was in the seat of a tractor. But it was something that I needed for me to get through, to be able to get through a day. Some days was just to be able to hear those moms talking, or hear and words of encouragement. It just makes a big difference. Even the ladies now that I have led in two of the groups that I've done, I see them heal, and even them through their stories are still healing me. It makes a big difference to hear stories and have them heal you as well. Even though you're the leader, you feel that connection, and that it helps to heal. But
Yeah.
without God in my life, and that is what happened, is this program brought me so much closer to my faith. I had faith, but it kind of went by the wayside with all the troubles that you have. But it did bring me closer, and today, now, it's so much easier to let God take over these troubles that I have. um, I can't control things, so it's up to him.
It is. Tell us. Well, speaking of your tractor, I have to tell everybody about that. So when she was in the group that I was leading, um, there were times. So what she does, she and her husband, they come down. Most of it's in the States, right? Your work. So they have
Yes.
all this big equipment harvesting, and they come down and they harvest crops for farmers here in the United States. So they're here for a few months while they're harvesting these crops, and so there would be times when we'd be having our group, and she would come on, and she would be like this. It'd be like she'd be on this tractor, and you could see the fields behind her, and she'd have her phone propped up, and I was just so impressed with that. It was just like so much fun to see what she does. I mean, Lynn and I were talking tonight about how we do have lives outside of these kids, and we get so focused on them and what they're doing that, and even with each other, we forget that we have other parts of our life. So that's been really fun to get to see you in action, driving a big old tractor, all by herself, just like it was nothing. So that was really great. And I think what you said about getting closer to God, this is what brought me back to God. I had been a believer when I was young. And then for many years, I kind of walked away from it. And it was my pain over my daughter. It was the turmoil that I was in that brought me back to the Lord. Yeah, it's like you get to that place where you don't know what else to do. It's unfortunate that it takes a catastrophe to bring us back to the Lord. But He has been so faithful in healing my heart and in allowing me to move forward in my life without all that anxiety. And it doesn't mean that my daughter's all okay. I mean, that's the thing. We're so focused on them getting better. We'll never get better if we do that, right? Tell us a little bit about what's going on with your daughter right now, some of the things you were sharing with me.
Yeah, so right at this, as of today, I believe that my daughter is in a shelter. She was 2 days ago, but I'm not sure if she's still there today. And that is where I have let God take control of that, because I can't worry day in and day out as to what her life is going to entail. It's her life, her choices, and I have to let God guide her. I did message her and tell her that just give your heart to God and He will guide you. So, and that's all I can do. I have no control. It's her choice. I can't cure what has happened with her. And even though it tears us apart as moms, we have to stay focused on our own sanity and our peace and our serenity in order to heal.
Yeah.
And with God, you can find that peace and serenity. With
Yeah.
with prayer, being out in nature, with just listening to the wind blow or the rainfall, all those things in nature just seem to bring you closer to God. And that's where I am, is when I can hear, even when I'm out in the tractor and I stand outside, and you hear the wheat field blowing in the wind. That's just like, okay, God's here with me. You get those little God winks, so that book says, where God is with you.
Yeah. That. That's so true. I mean, it's like we learn that, he sees a bigger picture. He sees the whole thing. We don't. In our lives, I was talking to another mom today, and it's like we were acknowledging that, there might not be a change in our child in our lifetime. God sees the whole thing. I mean, we hate thinking about that, but I've really learned how to tap into him for my strength and my peace, my joy, and to be able to still have a rich, full life, no matter what my kids are doing. And it doesn't happen overnight, right? We go through this. That's one of the things that happens in these groups is we are given tools to be able to surrender our kids, to be able to get to that place where we're okay, no matter what's going on with them. I would love to ask the moms that are watching, I'd love to see if you're in a group now or you've completed a group, would you let me know, like 3 things I want you to write in the comments. If you're in a group now or have been in a group, if it was an online or local group, and in one word, what did you come away with? What did you come away from that group with? And if you can say it in one word, to encourage another mom that might be watching. That a lot of moms tell me, Lynn, just like you said, that you watch for a while and then a few months, it takes some time before you finally get in. But I just love to I love to hear that. And I think moms, those of you who are commenting, you can be the ones to encourage somebody else. Renee says, listening to you ladies makes me feel so hopeful. And that's what this is about, right? I always talk about hope and healing, and that's what happens through this process. And as we come together and realize that we're just not alone, that's the main deal. What are some of the things that you got out of being in a group and now leading groups, Lynn?
Well, the relationship that you develop with the women that are in your group is amazing. It is like you said, you become lifelong friends. I communicate with my ladies that were in my groups, not often enough, but we do. Last night I contacted one, and it was just so great to have a little conversation with her, even though it was just through Messenger. It just brings you closer to them, and I think of my ladies so often. I'm calling them my ladies, but the ladies that were in my group, I think of them so often. And another one thing that I really do believe was God's working is the one lady that was in my last group. I had met her in Bismarck when I was there harvesting, and I needed to go to an Al-Anon meeting because I just needed that support from someone. And I met this gal there, and then when I got my letter or my notice that this girl had signed up, I thought, oh, dang. So I messaged her, and sure, it was her. So I do truly believe that that would go, because there's just no other way that would have happened except that God's hand was in it.
And where's she at? Where does she live? Where's she located?
She's in Bismarck, North Dakota.
That's crazy. That is crazy. That you met her there. Yeah.
Yes, and so that is why I truly believe, like, you will see little things that God does that you now, when you get closer to Him, you find those things and you realize that's Him working. It's not a coincidence. It's God's hand in there. And the moms that I have are just so wonderful, and to watch them grow through the program, and to see their strength and then their courage.
Some of the moms are writing the questions I ask. Carla said she was in an online group and it led to healing. The word she used was, oh no, wait a minute. She wrote twice on here. I'm getting lost. Well, let me go back. There's so many people that are responding to that. One said 2 online groups completed, leading one now, healing. That's Lisa. She said healing. Mary says she's in an online group, Hope. Jean did an online group and a face-to-face group. She has peace. Somebody else said they came away with guiltless joy. Marla had her first online group meeting last night. And so and Carla says she's learned she's not alone. I love this so much. Lisa says one word for her is blessed. So as we read through these, somebody else said soul, now in a group online soul sisters. Karen said local group support and friendship. So I mean, I guess that just fills my heart to see the good things that are happening in these groups, the good things, and we just feel like nothing good is ever going to be. Our lives are not going to be good anymore until our kids change, and this just shows that they totally can. I love that story about meeting that person when you were, harvesting. And did she know that was your group she was signing up for? You just signed up and it was your group.
She had no idea that it was my group. She had no idea that I was a part of Hurting Moms.
Oh my gosh. That's
yes.
crazy. That's kind of stuff that happens though, right? That's the way God does it.
That is exactly how it happens. So that is anyone who's even thinking that should I or shouldn't I join a group, whether it be local or face to face or online, it brings so much healing, so much joy, so much healing that I don't know where I would be if I hadn't have done this. It is just
I
God's
remember.
giving.
I remember that first day that we met in that group. I think somebody else was supposed to lead that group, and she got sick. She had health problems, and so at the last minute, I couldn't find. It was a daytime group, and so at the last minute, said, "Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and lead it." And I do remember that first meeting, and you cried through most of it. And that happens, ladies. That's normal. I mean, most of us do cry. There's something about being in a safe place with other moms who totally understand, know exactly what you're feeling because they're feeling it too. That just there's this huge relief and being able to talk about your story, know you're not being judged because we're all in the same boat. It just brings the tears, and there's healing in tears. Lisa Strong says, I need to join a group. Yes, Lisa, you do. There should be a link above this video that can take you straight to a place where you can register for an online group. And so I really, really hope that you will. I'd love to see your name come across as joining a group. So here's somebody else. Annabelle in Florida says, I need to join a group. Yes, you do. There's just something about it, ladies. I don't know what to tell you, but you just got to experience it. And the good thing is, though, it's only 10 weeks. It's not like a lifetime commitment. Although after you finish it, most moms don't want to see them end because of the bonds, but you stay connected to the people for forever after that. Like Lynn and I, when did we do that group, Lynn? When was that? Were you in my group? When was that? Long time ago, a year?
It'll be 2 years this year.
Oh my God.
2 years ago this year.
So, but we're still friends. And even though it probably is, we've never seen each other in person. We've never gotten to hug each other. I'm still hopeful that one day that's going to happen. I still say I'm going to travel the US and Canada and find all these moms who I've gotten to know this way. And I can't wait to meet you all in person. It'd be so great. So great. So when you what are some of the things that you do to kind of keep your sanity? I know your daughter has been, if I remember correctly, in and out. I mean, she comes back and then she disappears and then she comes back, and each time, of course, you get your hopes up and then she leaves. And so what are some of the things that you do specifically? I know you're trusting God, but to really able to keep your sanity in the midst of all that.
Well, I have a lot of hobbies, so I mean I keep very busy doing different things. But when I do, like when she does come back, and it used to be that it would break me apart, and I wouldn't sleep, and all kinds of things. But through being able to let God take control, every time that this happens, it gets easier to not get to the point where you think you're going to lose your sanity again.
Yeah.
I have more peace and serenity than I've ever had. But I have other jobs to do too. So those keep me busy and occupied and keep my mind going. And I do think that does helps to have hobbies or a job or something, visiting with friends or if you can't find someone that you can trust, this is the place. This is the place to find where you can open up to the moms in your group, and they're not going to judge you because they're in the same place that you are. Whereas if you go uptown here locally and you just can't open up like that because you're not sure where else that what you've said is going to go. But
Yeah.
say it in your group, you know it's safe, you know that they understand, pray for you.
Yeah, exactly. Catherine asked, why is there a charge to join the group? Honestly, it's for the book. It we these books are published. They cost money for us to, and we don't have. We're a nonprofit. We're becoming a nonprofit. We're not trying to make any money, but we do have to charge for the cost of the book. And in fact, right now, that's all it is. Sometimes I think we also have like the rooms that we use online. We have to pay for, but we're just passing our costs on. That's all. That's why it's mainly the cost of the book, Catherine. So we do have a special program for anyone who is not in a position that can't buy a book. It's called Mend a Heart. And if you go to our website, you can hit Mend a Heart and you can fill out a little thing and ask for that. And it's where we have some moms who are sponsoring other moms. We have moms who get healing through this and they think it's so important that they want to help another mom get the same kind of healing. And so you go to Mend a Heart, and there are moms that have already paid for people to go through, and you can fill out that form, and it won't cost anything. We put you in a group. You have to choose a group. Make sure if you do that, once you've been approved, that you choose a group. And then they're for the online groups that happen in churches. If they're local groups, they usually have the books, and it's up to them whether or not they're going to charge you for the book. Or a lot of churches I know will just give you the books. And yeah, we're not trying to make money. We just want to see you get healing. That's the main deal right here. So yeah, I like what you said about, when we talk about no judgment. I don't know about all of you who are watching, but for me, so much of the pain that I was in was it was about shame. It was shame. I felt like people thought I was a terrible mom. That what did I do to have a kid, that's doing the things that she was doing, and that it must be my fault. And then I felt like that. I felt like I didn't want to tell people about it because they were going to judge me. And it felt like everybody else had these perfect kids, and I started feeling like I did everything wrong. I myself was thinking it was all my fault. So that's one of the beautiful things, is to be able to be in a place where the women who are listening to you, they're just empathizing with you because they're in the same boat. One other thing, a lot of moms, I hear there's lots of different stories. There's lots of different situations. And what I always say to people, situations vary, but the pain is the same. When we are hurting over our child, no matter what the reason, whether they've turned their backs on us and are estranged from us, or whether they're caught up in addiction or an alternative lifestyle, they're not living the way we raised them to live. They're not living up to what our expectations were. It hurts, and that pain is all the same. And so that's why nobody judges. We don't judge each other in these groups because we know we're in the middle of it ourselves. So what else we've just got a couple of minutes, Lynn. What other words of wisdom do you have for the ladies tonight?
Well, I just want to repeat myself about joining a group, like, and fill out that form if you can't afford to buy the book, because you will find so much healing. Um, Being through the session with you, Cathy, and then doing the two sessions, it's just continuously healing and helping others to heal, and listening to them without judging. And they seem to open up as the weeks go on, and then they're able to, and it's just so wonderful to watch that and to see that transformation in them, that they turn to God and that they know that there is a better way, that you will find some peace even though your child is still lost or still in full addiction or whatever the case may be. You're going to find some peace for yourself, and that's very important, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's what we're doing. And we're not going to be able to give you the secret formula to fixing your child, because we realize we can't do that, but we can give you tools. With God's help, you'll be able to use to get in a better place. Someone asked a minute ago, and I lost the comment. These comments sometimes come so fast I can't see them all. Uh, Anyway, somebody just asked me if this group would pertain to someone who has a child living here. She's Marianne. Would it be relevant for moms who are living, whose kids are living a homosexual lifestyle? My answer to that is, if it's hurting you, if their lifestyle is hurting you, if that's, for some moms, maybe it wouldn't be so painful, but if that is hurting you, and it's your child and you're brokenhearted over that, their choices, then yes, it is relevant, because we come into these groups and you might have 8 people in a group and there might be 3 or 4 different issues. You know, maybe a couple of them have addict kids and other ones are estranged, whatever it is. But if you're hurting over a child, I believe, and after years of doing this, I think that the pain is the same. We have different situations, but the pain that we have when it's our child is the same. So absolutely, if you're hurting over a child for any reason, this is a relevant group for you. So I hope that helps to answer your question. Lynn, I want to thank you for being on here with me tonight. That was a lot of fun. It's good to, by the way, Lynn is starting a new online group, and it's already listed on our group list on October 1st, right? And it's a daytime group. So her group is going to be, I always go by Pacific time because that's where I am. So we list the groups as Pacific time. You have to figure out what time that is in where you are. It's 8 a.m. my time. It's 9 a.m. her time. She's an hour ahead, right? Is that when you're starting?
Yes, yes.
9 a.m.
No, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. my time, isn't it?
I don't know. Whatever time it says on there.
Yeah.
So those groups are listed as Pacific time. So whatever time it is, you'll have to figure out what time it is where you are. But I just, moms, thank you all. Thank you for your comments. I hope, Lynn, that you'll go on here and answer some of these comments. Feel free to communicate with these moms. Cynthia says, I just keep working on myself, even if it's tiny steps daily. And that's the way it goes, you know, one step at a time. And so thank you for watching. Again, those of you who have indicated on here, I need to get into a group, and I've seen several of those comments. Don't wait another day. Don't think about it anymore. Just do it. You will not regret it. It's going to be one of the best things that you've ever done. And there's a link above the video that you can click on, and it'll take you to a place where you can go ahead and register. And we have, maybe 5 or 6 groups coming up. Some in July, I think maybe 1 or 2 in September. I forget when they are, but you got to look at them. Anyway, thanks again, Lynn. Love you all, moms. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep praying for each other. I'm praying for y'all every day. And hurting moms, I say it every week. You're in my mind when I wake up, and you're in my mind as I go to bed at night. And I'm just grateful that we have this community. You all mean the world to me and have absolutely blessed my heart and are a huge part of my healing. So I will see you all next week. I'll be back. Thanks, Lynn. Appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.